Okay, I'm live. Okay, let me make sure this framing is good. Well, hi, Raindrops. We have a busy show tonight. So I've been playing Candace's. Can I tell y'all something? I've been playing Candace's song all day. I see you. I don't know why that song is stuck in my head today, but for some reason, I've been playing it all day. I love the song so much. Shout out to Candace and her beautiful baby boy. Okay, let's do shout out really fast because we have a jam-packed show and I want to make sure that we have enough time to get everything going. Nathan, Supreme Raindrop, we have. Okay, we got Audrey Milan. Claudia Jordan says, Claudia's crazy. Claudia's here. We got Lionel, my OG Raindrop. Hi, Lionel. Let's have a real conversation. Yes, Lionel. Okay, we got Maya Cook. Carlos, you look so good. Thank you. You know, let me not give y'all much. Okay, we got Demetrius Kenner from Flint. That's where Dustin's from. Okay, Marcy Dooley. Hey, Raindrops. We got Crystal Lee. We got Mimi B. We got Queen B Moore. We got Can't Be Bothered. L Singleton from Bethany, Connecticut. We got Joan from Charlotte. Okay, what else? Okay, so we are going to have a jam-packed show. Just so y'all know, I had a great weekend. Hey to Metra Phillips from Little Rock. Okay, and Shelly B from the Bronx. So my weekend, I had a great weekend. I went to a sports game on Friday with my girl Kelly. A lot of y'all have been asking, who is this Kelly person? So Kelly is my friend in real life that I told y'all about, who married the white guy whose wedding I went to. Kelly is very successful. She owns a business. I'll have her announce. Well, no, I can announce it. It's called Chef Tonight, and it's an app and a website, and where you can book chefs for any event. Hey, Tisha, you can book it for any event. So Kelly is my girl. We went to the game on Friday, and then we hung out afterwards. And then Saturday, I hung out with Keisha Kayor, who is a dear friend of mine for the past, like, I think 9 years, me and Keisha Kayor. And I haven't seen her in a while. And apparently, me and Keisha Kayor got into some controversy because a married woman was sitting on my lap and the people went wild, which I didn't understand that. I didn't get it because she's my friend in real life. But apparently, you can't have a married woman on your lap. I digress. But no, it was a busy weekend. I am definitely looking forward to tonight's episode. Okay. So first things first, my first guest, best show, even though I watch the shows, these recaps are better. Thank you, Elion Mack. Thank you. Joan Sanders said, thank you. You look lovely at the game. Y'all Raindrops, who I love, y'all don't miss anything. One of my Raindrops was watching the game on her television screen. She saw me sitting courtside, took a photo of me, and I'm just on the screen. So y'all want to hear some tea? Then I'm gonna move on. So Raindrops, don't tell nobody this. So when I went to the game on Friday, I was gonna take a date there. I really was gonna take a date to the game. And y'all know I'm private. So then when the Raindrop, because I don't think about TV. So when the Raindrops saw it on TV and took the picture of me and Kelly, because I didn't think about, like, you're at the game and it's televised and people at home are watching it. So I was going to take a date to the courtside game, but it didn't work out because of scheduling. And then it hit me, bitch, you can't even take a date to the courtside game because it's televised and people are going to see it. That's my dilemma. I can't even do that. So I now have to figure out, where do I take these books? You gotta be in a suite or them bleachers. Now look, baby, one thing Carlos King ain't gonna do, baby, is sit in the nosebleeds. Okay? We're not gonna sit. Wait a second. I'm private. Hold on. Wait. I'm gonna exit. I'll bring on Ebony next. Where is it? Carlos drawn down. Okay. J. Rob Base. The thing is this, and we're gonna bring on Ebony. There's two sides to Carlos King. Okay. Carlos King, the personality, the host who does the most, the YouTube sensation. I give y'all everything. So I'm not private when it comes to that stuff. I was in a relationship for like 15 years and y'all never met the person. So I'm private. Nathan say he tries to be private. Maybe that's a better word. I try to be private. I'm private when it comes to the love life. So that's what I meant. I'm private there. But I tell y'all everything else. I don't give a shit. So I'm private there. Okay? Okay. Make them wear shades and a COVID mask. Well, baby, I also want to see how they look too. But we'll talk about that another time. Okay. He be telling the rain. This is the better one. He be telling the raindrops his business because we love him down. Exactly. So one thing the raindrops don't do, they don't blow up my spot. So I love y'all and I appreciate y'all for that. All right. So that was my weekend. I was saved by the scheduling issue. Thank you, God. Okay. Okay. So my first guest of the evening, she is my friend in real life. I think I was one of the first people she told me she was with child. I love her so much. She will go down in history, seriously, history, as the first guest to launch Reality with the King podcast that shot to #1 on the Apple Podcast chart. It shot to #1. She broke the internet with this interview. And I always felt like ever since we did that interview, this is some real shit I'm saying to y'all. This woman set the tone for Reality with the King, because when we did my interview that launched the podcast, it hit me that Reality with the King would be the destination where women and men and theys, okay, are able to tell their truth, their story uninterrupted, and being able to be seen. And that's exactly what Eboni K. Williams did. So ladies, gentlemen, gays, and theys, give it up for my friend who I love dearly, Eboni K. Williams.
Hi, my love. That was so touching.
I meant every word.
I know you did. I know it. And I just want to shout out this lovely ensemble you're wearing. It's giving
what are they giving?
It's giving 1996 Janet Jackson, Love Will Never Do. And that's why you laughing your ass off, because you know it's definitely giving that.
And the dance she did
in the sand, and just give us a cartwheel in the sand, Carlos.
Well, I could definitely do a cartwheel, Ebony. I do know how to do that. How are you, gorgeous? You look amazed.
Thank you. We've got our little special guest giving background vocals, as you hear. Baby Liberty.
are a new mommy with the beautiful baby Liberty. How is mommyhood for you, baby?
Well, honey, how does it look? No, just playing.
But you look good.
I'm just playing. No, it's going great, Carlos. Listen, I'm a bitch is tired. Not gonna hold you. It's exhausting, and also the hardest and best thing I've ever done.
What advice do you have with women? Because I have a lot of female friends, Black women especially, who are over 40.
Yeah.
And one day they woke up and they said, Carlos, I was career driven. And one day I woke up and I realized I want children. Is it too late? Did I miss my calling of having kids? And a lot of them are trying to figure that out. Yep. What advice do you have for Black women over 40 who are desiring to have kids? And maybe some of them are not in a relationship. Maybe some are. What advice do you give them in terms of like making sure that if that's what they want, they're able to get it, because that's exactly the life that you're living now?
First of all, shout out to the raindrops. I saw so many beautiful notes as you were laying out that inquiry. Shout out to the SOAR. Shout out to all the good folks of the raindrop community. I have a lot of good advice, Carlos. The first thing is it's never too late to do anything that's in your heart. That's the first thing I want to say. It is never too late to do anything that God has put on your heart. Okay, because he actually says he will give us the desires of our heart. Now, don't get me in my preacher bag this evening, Carlos.
Psalm 37:4.
Well, I thought that's what it said. Okay.
It did say that.
Yeah. So either you believe that or you don't. Now, if you believe that, it's never too late. Number two, there's a lot of ways to be a mother, right? And I mean that quite literally, Carlos. There's biological motherhood. Shout out to it. I was blessed to pursue it in this way. Awesome. There is egg donorship. You can actually buy a whole embryo. You can hire a surrogate. You can adopt a lovely life. You can foster. I would encourage a Black woman over 40, Carlos, that believes motherhood may still be in her destiny, to be open-minded to what and how it can look. Try to avail yourself to all of the research and opportunities. There's, for me, Carlos, as you know, when I was thinking about starting this journey, I listened to every podcast, I read every article, being the nerd that I am. But there's a lot of great content out there. I have even made it my business. I love a platform. So I've made it my business to put my story out there. I did an exclusive piece for Scary Mommy that's available. I have podcasts that are out. Google Eboni K. Williams, Solo Mom by Choice. It's out there. Other Black women are telling their stories. It's a beautiful thing to mother in the way that you want. And there's a bunch of different ways to do it. And it's never too late. That's my story.
I love that for you. And listen, I wanted to bring you on board because not only do I love you, you also are a lawyer. Okay,
yes.
Check that. But not only that, you also have an award-winning podcast, Holding Court, with Eboni K. Williams. And
just making sure my NAACP Image Award was still intact on the shelf. I just wanted to make sure it was still there. That I won alongside the Dustin Ross. Okay, just making sure.
Yes. Holding Court with Eboni K. Williams, with Dustin Ross as well. It's an amazing podcast. You break down all things legal. I wanted to talk to you because there were so many people who wanted to come on tonight's episode who are lawyers, some famous, some not, to really break down Karen's DUI case to my audience, because there's still a lot that I'm not understanding. So my team and I had a meeting, and my team said, Eboni K. Williams, and I said, that's why you need a team. Because
that should have been the first name out your mouth, Carlos.
Well, no. So the type of boss I am.
Okay. I'm playing, but go ahead.
The thing is, I know you are. I love a brainstorming session because I never want to come in, because this is the thing. I never want to come in with my Rolodex of people who I know, because I want my team to sort of like see like what's cooking. So I said, who do y'all think?
Yep.
They all said Eboni K. Williams, and I said, that's a genius idea. And we made it work. So I'm glad you're so on board to do this. Karen Huger from the Real Housewives of Potomac was recently sentenced to 2 years in jail, 1 year suspended for a DUI case that happened, I want to say a year prior, and she was going through the motions. I would like for you to break down this case, because a lot of us, first and foremost, we want to know this. Karen, it has now been revealed that Karen has 4 DUIs, and that was something that came out recently. The question was, how can someone get 3 DUIs and never have jail time to begin with?
Mm-hmm.
What is the law in all of that?
How does that even happen, right? So let me start by answering that direct question, and then I'll retro back. So the answer is, Carlos, somebody can get up to 4 DUIs, as we see is the case with Karen, and never serve a day in jail up until this point because of 2 words: judge's discretion. That's the why. There is, for most states, I should say, and this is very much raindrops. This is a state by state scenario, legal scenario. Each state is works differently rather. Karen, we know, is in the state of Maryland, is adjudicating this for Karen Huger. So in the state of Maryland, whether or not a particular conviction gets active jail time, we call that an active sentence, or probation, or house arrest, or whatever the determination of sentencing looks like, Carlos, it is exclusively up to the judge's discretion, meaning what the judge feels is appropriate. Now, let's be clear. Prosecutors can make a recommendation. So a district attorney can say, I'm sure historically in Karen's previous 3 DUI convictions, made a recommendation to the court. Well, the district attorney's office recommends 6 months. The district attorney's office recommends 1 year, 30 days, weekend sentence, whatever. The judge is not bound by it, Carlos. Judge ain't got to do a damn thing but what the judge wants to do. So the fact that we have seen Karen avoid an active jail sentence up until this point, I'm going to tell you, in my legal experience, and I used to specify DUIs heavy in my practice when I practiced criminal law in North Carolina. Probably 30% of my caseload as a public defender were DUIs. So I know this one very well. I've never seen somebody get to a 3rd DUI and not serve an active jail time. Haven't seen it. And I was sworn into practice in 2007. So y'all do the math. 18-ish years as a practicing attorney. So I will say that's exceptional for those of you that are scratching your head once you found out. See, many and this is how it should be. I want to say this part too, Carlos. That means people are doing their job. That the public did not know what Karen Huger's prior conviction record looked like. That's a good thing. That is called the discretion of the court. Okay. But now that it's been adjudicated, she's been found guilty at trial at the end of 2024. Sentencing was on deck. Now we're finding out. Okay. Because as soon as I heard the sentence, I forgot where I was, but I was texting with my producer. Shout out to Ashley Hobbs over at Holden Court. And I said, damn, they gave her 2 years, 1 suspended. So she's going to do a year in jail. I said, she must have priors. She must, because it would be unthinkable, unfathomable for a first-time DUI offender to get an active jail sentence, mostly at all, but certainly no more than 15, 20, 30 days. Somebody saying in California, you do a mandatory 8 hours for your first offense. Very interesting. Okay, cool. So that's why I say, y'all, state by state. So anyway,
state by state. Yep.
Yeah. So when I saw that Karen had an active year sentence with another year, as we say in the business, hanging over her head, that's how we refer to that suspended year, because that's a mechanism that the judge puts in place to basically keep you on a short leash, to basically say, Miss Huger, you can you cuss on this?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Miss Huger, you've been fucking around. You've been playing in our goddamn face. Okay. As the judiciary, as it relates to the offense of driving under the influence. And so what we're going to do this time, we're going to do it differently. You're going to get an active sentence. The maximum you could have received was 2 years. I'm actually going to give you the max. Raindrops, do be clear. This judge gave her the maximum sentence, 2 active years in jail. He chose to suspend one as to say to her, if you breathe wrong, when you get out on day 366, if you breathe wrong, you're going back, don't pass go, don't collect $200, and you will serve every day of that second year. That's how that works.
Wow. See, this is the reason why I needed somebody.
No, you didn't need somebody. You needed Eboni K. Williams, Esquire. Let's be clear. Let's be clear, because can't nobody give it up like this, baby.
No, baby, no, baby. And you are cooking, as the young folks say. So look, what occurred to begin with, where there's these two sort of like rumors that I don't know is concrete fact. They're saying that allegedly, prior to Karen's case going to trial, that allegedly she was offered a plea deal. Allegedly, they're saying one plea deal was 6 months house arrest. The other alleged plea deal was 60 days in jail, and they're alleging she turned these things down. Are these true in terms of these plea deals even happening?
So I did some digging on this because, you know, I'm also a journalist.
Hey, Portia. Yes.
See, that's why y'all raindrop. This is why me and Carlos don't do this often, because we be cutting
I love her, but we need to, honey. Stay tuned. No, go ahead, Eboni.
I really did do investigation here because I didn't want to come with speculation. So the only credible source, let me back that up. The only source, I'll let the people decide if it's credible, that I could find that gave that report, Carlos. And you're right; those were the reported offered plea deals. One of 60 days active jail time, the other of 6 months house arrest. It was a publication called TV Deets, DEETS, TV Deets. That is the only publication I can find on record reporting that prosecutors allegedly offered that pre-trial. Those are pre-trial. I'm not very familiar with TV Deets, so I can't speak to their credibility. I will tell you this. It is not uncommon, or indeed it is customary, for prosecutors to offer, especially what we call, which Ms. Huger is, a habitual offender. Once you get to 2 and 3 and now 4 DUIs, there's a name for that in the court. We call you are a habitual offender. So now when you're a habitual offender, you are often given an opportunity to adjudicate pre-trial. Okay, let's kind of wrap this up. We kind of been down this road before. We know what it looks like. We're going to offer something that's going to be reasonable by prosecution standards. Defense team will take it up with their client and see what they want to decide. Because I personally can't say TV Deets is credible enough for my journalistic standards. No shade. I can't say for sure that she was offered anything, but I can tell you if she was, Carlos, offered either of those 6 months house arrest or even 60 days active jail sentence, it was a gift from the prosecution. She and her legal team should have taken it with a smile on their faces and went about their business.
Yeah. One of the things that was also alleged to Eboni, and I want you to break it down from the legality standpoint, because these are rumors, and as us being journalists, we want to make sure we report the facts. So there is another rumor that there was a man in the car at the time of Karen's DUI accident. What I found to be so interesting is, obviously, if somebody was in the vehicle and let's say this person ran away while Karen stayed, let's say that was the case, is the police able to discover that by doing their investigation? Is that something that will be, on the court logs that we can find out by public record?
Okay, so a few things. The file itself should not just be generally open, because that would kind of contaminate the sanctity, if you will, of what we do inside of a courtroom. So that's not going to be something that you guys could just access online, for instance. Okay, it's not like how we can look up Puff's federal indictment and complaint. That's a public record. It's only because a judge has unsealed the indictment. So that's why we have access to that. As the public, Carlos, we don't generally just get carte blanche access to all courtroom proceedings. It's certainly not at the district level for our consumption. So that's not available for public consumption. Now, whether or not there was another individual at the scene of the crime, because it was absolutely a crime, we now know, who's to say? Who's to say? Pure speculation. Whether or not it makes a difference, also who's to say? The only way I can see it making a difference, Carlos, is if indeed Karen wanted to make a defense claim that she wasn't indeed behind the wheel driving. It was this third party, this unknown, identified third party that was actually the driver, and then he or she fled the scene, leaving Karen to kind of hold the wheel, if you will. If you know, she wanted to go down that road of a defense argument, you know, she could have at it, but we don't have any evidence of that. That's the only way I could see that mattering, if you will, from a legal standpoint. If I could, Carlos, a couple of your raindrops did want to know if Karen herself probably had access to see the DUI video, the sobriety test video.
Yes. Are you able to see that if you're in Karen's position?
Yes. The answer is yes. It's actually something called the Brady. I'm taking you out of law school. Y'all need to really put something on my Cash App in this motherfucker. Well, there's something called I'm just playing. Baby's got to eat, Carlos.
Baby's got to eat, baby. I got you, boo. Go ahead, boo.
No, let me tell you. So there's something called the Brady Rule of Evidence. And this is a evidentiary rule that all proceedings follow that actually requires all prosecutors to deliver any evidence that the prosecution has, whether they'll use it or not, that could go to convicting the client. They must turn over and review. It must be mutually shared between both sides. So there's no crazy surprises. And if we think about it, that makes sense, right? If you are going to be, prosecuted in a court of law, you do have a right to defend yourself. And therefore you have a right to all of the evidence, both potentially exculpatory, which is Brady, or damning, to be able to properly prepare your defense. That's why we have that rule. So yes, Karen and her legal team, I remember when I was practicing in North Carolina, when I had DUI clients I was defending, that's one of the first things. If they don't take it upon themselves to expeditiously, to use a TI term, hand it over, baby, I'll file a motion. I'm gonna need that tape, sir. I'm gonna need that tape, ma'am, because it's from the tape, Carlos, that I can most adequately prepare my defense. So absolutely, Karen and her defense team had that tape for months. Were able to review it head to toe, poke holes in it. That is why they did file a pre-trial motion, Karen and her defense team, to try to get the whole case dismissed off the premise that it was an improper search and seizure. If you can prove in a DUI, this is actually the best way to get a DUI dismissed. If you could prove that the stop was bad, the stop was erroneous, they had no legitimate legal reason to stop you, other than you were a Black woman driving a Maserati, for instance, the whole case goes away. Now, I'm not saying that applies to Karen Huger, but
this is very interesting information.
Yeah.
That's why I'm glad to have you on. I got one more question for you, Eboni. Darlene, Carlos, I'm so glad you got. I know. Listen, Eboni is the only person right for this job, and I'm just keeping it a buck. So, shout out to the Kingdom Reign team. Okay. Anyways, when it comes to the sentencing. Thank you for breaking down, because I was confused with 2-year sentence, 1 year suspended. Eboni just told us that is sort of like dangling over Karen's head.
Hold that over your head to make sure you're on your very best, tip top. So whenever she do come back, baby, for I guess what's it gonna be, probably by season 11 of Potomac, when she get back, I guess she gonna be standing at attention.
So this is my question to you: will Karen do the full year? Or will she more than likely serve lesser time if she is behaving well in jail?
I think you and a lot of folks, Carlos, watching too many goddamn Lifetime movies. I don't know where y'all getting this good behavior out in 6 months bullshit from. No, sir. Let me tell you what. This is not a federal. So that good behavior, think of that as how people think about and talk about common law marriage. It's more or less a legal myth. Okay. That's not a real thing. Only in the extent that you've got a real existential issue that works on behalf of the correction institute itself. For instance, if the facility is overcrowded, if a global pandemic like COVID happens again, there must be a reason. People aren't just going about the business of sentencing people. You think this judge is playing, Carlos? The judge ain't playing. This judge, literally, the prosecution, y'all keep in mind, the prosecution only recommended Karen be sentenced to 6 months. The judge could have very easily sentenced her to 6 months if he intended for her to serve 6 months. So there is no intention by this judge of her to be getting out early, of her to be released for good behavior. No. Now, let me tell you where it could be an early release. If there is excruciating circumstances, heaven forbid, Brother Ray, health turns bad. Heaven forbid, Karen herself finds herself in a health conundrum. The daughter isn't, there must be, and then her lawyer would have to file a motion to ask for compassionate release or something of the sort. Y'all, much respect to Miss Huger, much respect to her family. The judge said a year for a reason. He actually said 2. He actually said he's suspending 1. It is most likely that she will serve every day of that 1 year active sentence. Give or take a week or 2 for processing. But this early release on good behavior and get it. Oh, somebody, good question. I talk about this on Holding Court. Didn't they shorten Jen Shaw's sentence? Jen Shaw's sentence was shortened, but not necessarily for good behavior. Jen Shaw's sentence has been shortened by my count twice. But let's compare and contrast. Number one, biggest point of contrast. Jen Shaw is serving what kind of sentence, y'all? A federal one. A federal one. Yeah, this is very different. So you know what that tells me? When you start seeing federal sentences of that length, 3, 4, I think Jen was originally sentenced to something close to 4 or 5 years. I mean, she had some real time. Oh yeah, it wasn't no year or 2, Carlos. Jen was sentenced to 60 months. It was something serious. It was well over 3 years. And we've seen her sentence be reduced twice since she's been incarcerated at the federal level. That's giving cooperation. That's giving 5. Thank you, Valencia. Shout out to Raindrop Valencia. Jen Shaw's original sentence was 5 years. She's now going to be home by my count in less than 3. That is likely because of a few things that we shouldn't know as the public, but likely she has been able to provide some information to the federal prosecutors that is important to them, favorable to them, and that has allowed her sentence to be reduced. Yep.
Ebony, my mouth is on the floor, so it's very dry. So excuse my gag.
Okay.
I'm in shock.
Yeah.
With
what part? The federal piece or Jen?
All of it, but I assume because I do watch
Lifetime.
No. My first crush when I was younger was Blair Underwood.
Oh, Law and Order. Yes. LA Law.
So I would watch LA Law.
Yeah.
My father was like, "Why aren't you watching sports?" I said, "Because Blair Underwood's on LA Law. Like, Dad, leave me alone."
And find it all outside. Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Hence my type in chocolate. Well, was. Anyway, look, the thing is, I didn't know any of this. I too was like, oh, good behavior, because that's just what was embedded in my brain.
That's also been in the narrative, Carlos. Yeah. I'm just playing. That's not just you, baby. A lot of people are saying, oh, good behavior, oh, 6 months, oh, 7 months. Again, if she's out in 6 months, I'll come back and eat my hand. But I'm telling you what I know. The intention is for her to serve every bit of that year, with that extra year hanging on over her head to incentivize her to do what she has yet to prove herself able to do, which is stay sober when you are behind the wheel of a vehicle. And let me add this for those that think that the sentence is harsh or severe. I want you to, and I understand most of y'all are fans of Karen's, fans of Potomac, and this is hard to see. And let's be clear, I'm not celebrating no Black woman going to jail, period. So that's on that. But think about how wonderful God's grace is that Karen didn't hurt herself or someone else. How wonderful and gracious a God we serve that Karen didn't kill herself or someone else. And therefore, when the prosecutor and the judge, specifically the judge, Carlos, because we got to talk about politics for 1 second here. Politics are at play, Raindrops, because judges and prosecutors run for office, okay? And they must be elected. And when their election is up, and they have to go out there and solicit votes, it goes like this, because I've seen it, Carlos. If you're the sitting judge and I'm behind the wheel and it's my 3rd or 4th DUI, and the next time I get out, Because Judge Carlos King said, well, Eboni K. Williams is a nice woman, and I want to see her do well, and I want to give her another chance. So even after her third DUI, I'm gonna give her probation because I think she's gonna do it this time. And I get behind the wheel one more time on that fourth time, and I kill somebody. The blood of that person, man, woman, or they or child, that blood is on Carlos King's hands. That blood is on the Judge Carlos King's hands because he had an opportunity to course correct behavior by incentivizing corrective measure, and he chose not to do so. That's politically how the narrative goes.
Yeah, and that's the reason why the local, voters elect the judges too. Eboni, I can't thank you enough for this breakdown. I'm going to hold court by asking you, am I able to call you and invite you back on to talk more legal stuff? Because this breakdown, the way you broke down the legalities of this case has really
you want to go to law school now, don't you? Are you thinking about law school?
Well, listen. I do look up to Kim Kardashian for many reasons. One of them is the fact that she's trying to have an Esquire behind her last name. But you are, listen, it goes without saying how smart you are, how educated you are, how knowledgeable you are, how fine you are, but also just how much of a sweetheart you are. I can't thank you enough for taking time away to really do this for me. This means a lot to me, so I want to say thank you to the world. Listen, Eboni is a busy woman, as you know. Let them know, though, my sweet girl, where they can subscribe. A lot of people, this is the gag. A lot of people are like, Eboni, you need a YouTube show, but you have a hit podcast, and they want to subscribe to everything. Let them know, Eboni, about your podcast, when it drops, and how they can subscribe to it and like it as well.
100%. Thank you, baby. Love you to death, Carlos. Love you down. When it's the big, splashy headline intersection of culture and law type of vibes like this, I'm happy to greet you again, and we'll do it all over again.
Thank you.
Yes, y'all. Find, subscribe, like, follow Holding Court with Eboni K. Williams wherever you get your podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it. Justin Ross and I drop an episode mostly every week on Wednesdays, and we do this all episode, and we do a 2 or 3 stories like this. We'll go even deeper on this Karen Huger piece on the episode that drops this Wednesday. Holding Court with Eboni K. Williams wherever you get your podcast, and also check out Judge Eboni, because that's a gag. It's a fun time. It is a very, very, very fun time. Somebody said, why wasn't Sharon sentenced to jail? I'm sure she's talking about Orange County. One has to assume it was her first or second offense. Same thing with Justin Timberlake. A lot of people were saying, he was not sentenced. I believe he even had a reduction of charges to a dismissal. Very similar, but who got the same treatment, just because it's very easy in a climate that is so anti-Black to understandably say that this is discrimination around Karen being a Black woman. Well, Tiffany Haddish is also a Black woman, also charged with DUI. Her DUI was dismissed for a lesser plea too. She pled to reckless driving. Her DUI was dismissed. So I think that the courts tend to have some grace for most people on a first, even second offense. When you get to third or fourth offense, that's when the whole shit looks different.
Yeah. Thank you, Eboni. Guys, every Wednesday, make sure Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. I listened to it. She broke down the Puffy case. She breaks down a lot of great things, and her and Dustin have great chemistry. So make sure Holding Court with Eboni K. Williams, the award-winning podcast. Thank you, my sis, and I'll see you soon, babe.
Love you, Raindrop.
Bye, Liberty. Love you, baby, too. Eboni broke it down. I am still gagged. But listen, this is a packed show. So let's bring in, this is the funny thing. These two are friends in real life. They are a good time. I mean, let's just say I feel very blessed to call them my friend. And I also feel very blessed that I get to hang out with them, because you have not experienced a fun time if you haven't experienced it with Dustin Ross and the Claudia Jordan, who is my friend, my baby doll. Everyone knows I'm in love with Claudia Jordan. I really am. I think she's super underrated. I have said that for years, and I will keep saying it until my girl gets a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I love this woman. I think she's so smart. She's super gorgeous. She has a potty mouth like no other. but she's very sensitive to Miss Aries, like Dustin. It's an Aries too. But I love them together. Give it up, y'all, for the Dustin Ross and the Claudia Jordan.
Yeah.
It is an airy sandwich with a little Libra in the middle.
And it's about damn time too. It's about damn time because this right here, Carlos, you know how you say you love all the girls or whatever. I love these girls. So like Claudia and Ebony, those are my homegirls in the realest of life. And it's just, it feels good to be here with my homies tonight. So
Love you, friends. Love you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I was so surprised you just hit me up out the blue because Carlos is so hard to get a hold of now because he's so popular. He's so rich. He's so famous. His courtyard. He's hiding the identity of who he's dating.
Multiple
you know what I mean? So like, I could never
multiple
get him on the phone.
homes.
So when he reached out to me, I was like, oh my God, did he need a real journalist? I don't know. But yeah, so here I am. So I guess he wanted me to speak on things with my journalistic skills.
Damn right. That's right, Claudia.
Hey, boo.
Raindrops, you don't have real friends if your real friends don't read you for film. I tell people that all the time. Claudia, first of all, Claudia, you and I do talk often, and Claudia.
Not enough. I missed you, that's all.
I know, listen, all the girls need some Carlos time, and I make sure to distribute it equally. But Claudia, I miss you so much. What have you been up to? Because I mean, I know because we do talk, so I know all the amazing things you're doing. Can you share with the Raindrops what you've been up to? Because you are somebody that they still ask about whenever I do a podcast. They're like, can you bring Claudia back? So I want you to have the time to update. There goes the cat too, child. So is your feet fixed? What's going on, babe?
Oh, my feet have been fixed for a couple of years now. And I actually went with Mimi to the same doctor, and Mimi just got her feet fixed. So
what was wrong with Mimi's feet?
She had bunions. Yeah. She had bunions. So they shaved the bone down. Wait till you see the job that Dr. Wagner did at Jaws Podiatry down in Florida. He hooked her up. Like, it is amazing. Actually, I sent you a message because he needs a show. Like Dr. Pimple Popper, my feet are killing me. He needs a show. Like, it's so amazing what he does. He changed my life. Because, you know, I was shamed to death for revealing my feet on Housewives. I only did it because my storyline was going to be, I was going to fix it on your show. But then I found out how brutal how barbaric the surgery was. So I said, oh my God, forget it. But it was too late. Y'all already had the footage. And I just want to say, y'all are shady as hell because in the show, and I have to just tell one industry secret, whoever edited made the corns look way darker and worse in the pictures that went out there and on the video than what it was in real life. Because people see me in real life, they're like, oh, they played you. I'm like, I know. They were messed up.
They made their corns look darker.
Yes. My mother was like, really? I was like, I know, Mom, but it's okay. I'm going to fix them 10 years later. And I did. So anyway.
Claudia, somebody said footage.
I know. You know what? My feet are cute now. They go right in your boyfriend's mouth. Okay.
Oh, can we see them, Claudia? Can we see your feet?
Well, they're a little ashy, so let me not do that. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Let me
we don't want that.
But they better though.
That's what, and that's all that matters, Claudia. That's all that matters. You get on your good foot. That's right.
Get on your good foot.
Okay. I've been doing a lot of movies. I have a theatrical release coming out. It's called Run. It's a horror film. It's amazing. Drew Sidora is in it. Annie Alonso, Erica Pinkett, Erica Meta, myself. It is a really good movie. Marcus Houston. It's a dope movie. It's in theaters across America this summer. It's called Run. Thank you. I just have played another lead in another movie called The Handyman. I was in every scene. That's going to come out soon. Just a lot of films. I have a podcast with Erica Cobb called Accidentally Informed. We'll go live.
It's really good, by the way.
Very good.
We're going to shift to do it weekly, to do it on more topical. So we're going to go live on Wednesday. So just go to our YouTube channel and we're just trying to build that. So just a lot of little things, remodeling my house. Been really busy. Life is good, traveling,
Are you dating anybody?
No, I have been celibate for a while. Yeah, it's crazy. Wasting all this good vagina.
So on that note.
But Dustin's been out with me in my last boo. Like, Dustin's seen,
The one that was in the sports industry.
Yeah, he was a coach. But
I don't want to say much because I me.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's fine.
So
but
Dustin met the coach.
He was cool. Yep. We hung out a few times, right?
Yeah, we did. But
yeah,
no boyfriend since. I just dated like one person since then, but I keep my personal very, 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 very low. And that's why I think people make a lot of rumors because I don't really say what it really is. It's very on the low. Like I just let people think, oh, she can't get a man. She sleeps with cats. I like kind of like play that character. Like, yeah, I can't get a man. I do have a crush on someone right now, but this person doesn't know yet. So I haven't like let this person know yet. I do have a crush on someone.
I know who it is,
he-
and they're gonna look so good together too, because they're
He
going to meet. They're gonna look so good
Fine as
together.
hell.
Okay, is he an actor?
No, actors are crazy. No.
Is he in the industry?
No.
Not
No.
entertainment, not TV and movies and stuff like that. I haven't even met him yet. I'm just manifesting it. But
Dustin seen his photo.
Yeah, you have too. You just don't know it yet.
Oh, because I was thinking about Aaron Pierre. You guys will look good together.
oh, he's fine. But he's with my girl Tiana Taylor, and they look sexy together. Well, I
Yeah,
think
they
so.
do.
They look.
Is that
outrageous.
confirmed?
They did a
Mhm.
soft launch at the Essence.
Tiana confirmed it.
Yeah,
She confirmed it?
they did a
That's
soft
what the
launch.
headlines read today. Yes,
Mhm.
Tiana Taylor confirms her relationship with Aaron Pierre. That's a beautiful couple.
That's
Hell yeah.
sexy. Ooh, they probably have some good ass sex too.
She don't miss because her and Iman look good together too, and they were a couple.
Iman
They
and
were
her
stunning.
look good together.
Yeah.
You know what?
Tiana,
She's
like,
bomb with anyone because I love her. I'm a fan.
how can you look bad next to you? Got to be an ugly motherfucker to look bad next to Tiana Taylor. You know what I'm saying? She'll make anybody.
I know
look
that's
good.
the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. So that's why my next man, I think I want somebody who is like.
Who are you gonna take to the game, Carlos?
Well, I realized I can't take anybody to the game because the Raindrops saw me on TV, Claudia, and they took a screenshot and posted on Twitter. But thankfully, I was with a girl.
Oh, I saw that. But you wanted to take a guy though.
I was going to take this guy to a game for our first date.
That would have been a fun first date. Courtside at the game. That's I like first dates
I
like
the
that. That's a good
courtside. I
first date.
love it. You must like
Yeah.
this one.
It
So
ain't even
we're
that.
going
He
to
just ain't sitting nowhere else. That's all it is. That's just where he's sitting. So
That's
if you're
where
gonna
the
go to the game with him, you get to then sit courtside as well. Because this nigga ain't gonna sit nowhere else in the arena. So
Justin, you know that's where the rich people, the 1%ers sit, the
that's what it is.
Republicans.
That's what
Dustin
it
and
is.
Claudia, I'm so happy you two are here because we get to recap the Real Housewives of Potomac Part 3 reunion. It was many things that happened, and I want to start off with Mia Thornton.
Yeah. Who cares that she left? Who gives a fuck? I didn't. That fell so flat. And it was so monotone for me. Mia, oh, you call me a bad mother. Oh, and then she's walking out with all the dramatics and then black shades on. See you, get on. Because as you can see, that reunion rolled right on along without her.
Ooh.
And everything. Actually, the reunion got better when she left because we started getting real deal receipts pulled out, real-time receipts, actual, participation from the ladies on stage after that. That made sense. They wasn't doing nothing but playing ping pong with Mia the whole time anyway. Giselle, Wendy, who else was tagging Mia's ass the whole time? Stacy,
The whole couch.
Bazzy, everybody. So when it was time for her to go, shit, I was happy she left. Not in a negative way. I'm just saying I was glad to wrap all that up. You know what I'm saying? I was happy to wrap all that up. And move on.
I watched it today, and I gotta admit, ever since I have been on a show like that and long, I haven't really watched a lot of reality shows like that, but I did watch the reunion, and I think Potomac, the times I have watched, is I think it's the best one of all the shows right now. I really do. And I was like, damn, they are mean. Like, I would hate to be, I was like, oh my God, like what? Like on Atlanta, they would have been fighting probably, it would have been some hair dragging or something, but they was really like going at it. And I was like, oh my God, I do not envy that. But it was fun to watch. But Mia, I think she should have stayed. I think to be called a bad mother, I'm sure that's painful, but you've been on the show long enough to know, like, that's the least of it. Like, come on, you got to be able to accept that and keep on going. You got to always have one in the tuck. Like when I would do a show, I'd always have, okay, this person might come for me. I'm gonna have 3 things for you. Just top of mind in case you.
Wait, Claudia, pause for the cause. Because this is the thing that why I love my podcast is because it's sort of like inside baseball with some shit. So listen, I know how some of the reality girls work, right?
Mm-hmm.
they definitely have information in their arsenal that they choose to keep until you get clocked. So, Claudia, when you were doing reality television, would you have information in the back of your mind that would be like, I'm not going to say anything, but the moment you try me, I'm going to reveal it?
Absolutely. Like it's in politics, they like to call it opposition research. Like, you just have to do a little, have a little one too, in case anyone want to get froggy. I never start anything in my entire life. As an Aries, we don't start anything, but we are very good at finishing it. It's so good that people think you came on there with a motive. No, you have a couple, like just get a little bit of info. So if they come for you, you have something. So you don't just sit there like a deer in the headlights. But it's called when you play spades, it's called the big joker.
Yeah. It's also called being around a whole bunch of ops, right? Like if you with your friends, you're not thinking, okay, well, let me keep this in the chamber in case me and this person argue. You don't even have those sort of thoughts. But if you're around some people you don't know and who they have the propensity to start some shit, then yeah. I mean, those thoughts are just gonna come to me anyway, because I crack jokes for a living. So you know what I'm saying? I'm already on that. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So if you are an op, then we really can just go there. So that's airy shit though, Claudia. It's just we're not sensitive like that. We can go for it. So,
we're ruled by the head, we're always thinking. We're always
thinking. So do you really, okay, Claudia, you being a former Real Housewife, you know how the sausage is made. Did you think it was a bad look for Mia? It's one thing to leave the set, right? To have a breakdown in your dressing room. Mia left the actual building, changed clothes, hopped in her black car, and never came back.
Yeah.
You being a former housewife, was that a bad thing to do?
Not that I have a lot of experience, because people love to remind me I was only on for one season. Yes, but you still talk about it 18 years later. But yes, I think you should. I understand, because I remember getting emotional on the next 15. There was a lot of things that were like people coming at me from all directions, and it was very hard. Matter of fact, I was late to the reunion because I didn't want to do it, but I did have an obligation to finish my story out and let the fans know like what put a button on it. I think if she didn't want to be around those ladies, then do your reunion from your dressing room, where you at least give something from the dressing room where you can say something, because leaving like that, you kind of leave it up for everyone else to write your story for you, and you really have no say, and you just have to deal with it and just go on social media afterwards. I think she could have stayed and maybe responded from her dressing room. I think people think in the moment, like, I'm going to eat this and just walk out. Have you ever like made a grand exit and you're thinking like they're going to come after you, like, wait, and they don't, you're like, oh shit.
No, that ain't never happened to me. God damn it. No, hell no, that's never happened to me. But it did happen to Mia, just like you're saying. Nobody cared. And it's so funny. There were some headlines circulating when they were filming the reunion that there was a rumor about some sort of physical altercation that didn't happen, or at least wasn't shown on camera. If it did, I don't believe it happened, because I haven't seen anything else other than those rumors, right? But those rumors made headlines. The fact that Mia actually left the reunion did not. So I think that shows you how anticlimactic it was. And I don't think she had nothing else in her. It's very easy to say, all right, you went too far, so now I'm done with this shit. When you don't have nothing else to offer because you didn't got caught, busted, and slapped in the face with the truth around every corner you turn. She ain't have nothing else to give. She had to get the fuck out of there. And I think she was uncomfortable in that dress, because them feathers, that had to be tickling and itching. You know what I'm saying? I know the air was on in there in that room, and them damn feathers rubbing up against you and shit. And Mia always looked like she finna sneeze anyway. So, she had to take that shit off.
Wrong.
She had to take that shit off. You know what I'm saying? That's why she left. She was sick of them clothes. That's what it was, man. So,
Carlos, do you not get your whole check if you don't finish the reunion?
That's a really good question. Oh, see, this is okay. I love this. As a journalist.
I'm not being shady. I really was with the newspaper for a while in Rhode Island.
No, you're a real journalist.
Joke here.
No, you're a journalist. No, for real. So Claudia's asking me, do you not get your whole check when you're not at a reunion? Okay. So, and that's a great question for the audience. When you film a reality show, you get paid per episode, right? So because Mia was in every episode, she did get paid because she was in these episodes. Now, granted, she was in 5 minutes, of the episode, but the moment your face appears in the episode, you do get paid for your full episodic rate. So Mia did get paid. And I want to say this. And I'm gonna keep it real. Y'all know I love Mia. I call her Mia Be Lion. And I did feel like Mia had a lot of potential. One thing I will say is Carlos King, obviously, was very disappointed that she left the building, right? Because this is how I feel. And Dustin and Claudia, I would love for you guys to comment about this too. To be the star or the queen bee or the force multiplier of a reality show, you got to take the good with the good and the bad with the bad. It's not easy. It's not easy. And that goes with any position in life, whether you're a lawyer, a doctor, marketing, whatever your job is. When you are the top of your game, you're going to get attacked. You're going to get attacked.
Yeah.
And this is something that, because me and Claudia are friends in real life, and me and Claudia spoke about this on my podcast when she was a guest. She is one of the few people who've been on twice. That's how iconic she is. So listen to it. But Claudia, the next 15, Claudia was not going to come to the reunion.
No.
And one thing I love about my girls, if they feel some kind of way, I always say to them, if it's that bad, call me. Just call me. To her credit, Claudia called me and said, it's too much. I can't take it. She and I had a conversation. Claudia came in and delivered. Claudia delivered that reunion, right? And it's being a reality star is not easy. You're getting judged every single week. That parlays into days often because of your appearance. And I believe in Mia. I'm just being honest. I know a star when I see one. I believe in Mia. Now, I am disappointed only because I know that Mia has what it takes. And I wish that Mia would do what some of the other girls do, and they call me before the reunion. Anyway, I wish that Mia would have done what Claudia did, which is sort of like, I gotta sit through this. And it's one of those things, and I want this to be a message to anybody who's at the top of their game in their job. When you are at the top, people are going to try to drag you to the bottom. And the worst thing you can do is satisfy them by doing what Mia did that I just didn't like, which just left the entire building. Because for me, Claudia is right in terms of that stage, you're going to get pow, 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 pow. But you have to be able to withstand it. And I know Mia has it in her. I know she does. I'm sad she left. And what's sad about it, and this, I'm gonna be very, very, very honest here. Very honest. What is sad about Mia leaving is two things for me. One, I always tell people this: the show must go on. And Dustin Ross is right. The show went on, and this is no shade. The show was great. It was actually funny. And I enjoyed the entire reunion. So that's number one. Never think that you're irreplaceable. Nobody on God's green earth should think that. Like, we all are replaceable. That's number one. Number two, I felt bad for Mia because now I'm like, Mia will go down in history as the first housewife who left the reunions building, not just left like, or didn't show up. She left the building, and it's sad because I'm like, where does she go from here? And that's my concern for her. I love Mia. I hope that Mia is able to sit back and see the ramifications of that and do right by it. But I love me some Mia down, but I'm being honest. I was disappointed.
It's a lost opportunity too. Like, because now we're left to assume, well, were there worse things that she didn't want out? You know, like, what else was there? Was she afraid something else was going to get spilled? It's so hard. And Dustin, I know, Aries, we talk about this a lot. I know I'm built for me versus 1,000 people. And it is a very scary thing, and it sucks to feel like it's you versus the world. But I promise you, Mia, when you get to the other side of that,
Yep.
Like very little things will phase you. And
Yep.
you know, I don't care what anybody else says. I've never been one of the girls in the clique. I've always been on my own. I've had to stand on business and have an unpopular opinion about things. But God damn it, I believe in my intelligence and I believe in my integrity. And if I feel I am right, then I'm not going anywhere. Y'all have to go around me.
And that's the difference.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
saw Mia
difference.
early
She was
on,
full of shit, Claudia. She did
Oh,
not
yeah.
have integrity to stand on. She was sitting up there trying to defend some lies and some really gross behavior, some behavior that read gross on the television. You can't get around that unless you step right into it. Yo, this is the truth. Here's how I feel about this. And then people can begin to empathize with you, understand you, relate with you, and connect with you. We all watched that, and that's why they were just bouncing her ping pong right across the fucking stage all damn day, because she was not bringing anything substantive or real. And that's the difference. You can stand on your shit because you're telling the truth about whatever you're talking about, and the opinion that you're defending is founded in something. Mia was sitting up there just talking shit and saying she was sorry when she really wasn't sorry. So she was playing a game that there was no end game for. It was just a lose-lose situation. That's why I was like, gone, you know, when she left. Gone.
I didn't know all that about her. I know I peeked in the show before and I was like, wow, that girl has a lot going on. And like Carlos says, the potential to really be the star, because she had so much drama that I was like, okay, she gonna be that girl.
She had the first. Listen, I told y'all this tea already. The first chair is important.
Mm-hmm.
To have the first chair is a reward.
2 years in a row.
Wow.
Let me tell y'all something, baby. To have the first chair 2 years in a row is a reward of like, you that girl. We have to give it up.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm disappointed, because I know it's tough and it's very tough. But when you want to be the top dog in any situation, and that's why there's a life rule, you have to know when you're at the top, you're going to get attacked. And it's one thing that Denzel Washington told Will Smith the night of the Oscar slap. He said, at your highest, be careful. That's when the devil comes. And
no one attacks you when you're down and out in second place. No one attacks losers. No one attacks you when you last. No one attacks the bum. No one attacks when I used to run track. First place was a blue ribbon. Second place was a red ribbon. And third place was white. And after that was all these abstract pastels and purple and lavender and baby blue and all. No one gave a damn. Nobody cared about the person that gets the orange ribbon. So if they're coming for you, they're coming for you for a reason. So just know that. Oh, by the way, shout out to my ex in the comments asking who do I have a crush on. He's all up in the comments. Hey KJ, I see you.
Shout out KJ. No, listen, Mia is disappointing for me.
Messy Carlos.
Mia is disappointing for me because she has everything it takes to be a success on the show. That's why they keep putting her in that first seat chair. But she's fucking it up with the games, and that's what the problem is for the fans, at least for this fan. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it real. We would love to see her and Gordon figure shit out for real, whether that means them staying together or getting a divorce. But the game playing and the lying and shit is what makes it repulsive.
That's the frustrating thing about, sorry to cut you up. That's a frustrating thing about reality TV, when half of y'all are really putting it on the table and being honest, and then people over here, yes, he blew up the spot. People over here being fake, lying, being fake religious, fake rich, fake happy, fake everything, and you're being honest, and then you end up getting criticized or being kind of misunderstood or dragged for your realness, because I'm telling y'all, reality TV audiences, y'all have been so trained to celebrate the fake because there's so much of it. That used to frustrate me, especially around some of these Southern gals that really be trying to use religion. That used to really piss me off because it's so fake. And that would be a way to kind of mask the deviant behavior sometimes, you know, and there'd be a lot of lying. I'm like, I promise you'd be more interesting if you just kept it a buck about what you really are like. Because how can you maintain that false image? And that's not just people in reality. That's people in general. Like, people like to quote God, quote the Bible, and that's going to make us forget about all your affairs or all your crimes and all your debauchery. You know,
or do whatever they want, whatever kind of foul, trifling shit they want to do for years and years and years, and then just decide, oh, I'm giving my life over to the Lord. So now I'm finna judge all y'all, and y'all don't worry about what I did. Look where I'm at now. No, it don't work like that. Integrity is something that's proven through time and circumstances and shit. Like, so I don't know. Those kind of people irritate me too, but that was my problem. That's why I'm not excited about Phaedra coming back to Atlanta. Not excited at all. And unless somebody is going to call her to the carpet for that Candy shit from season 9, I don't want to hear anything she has to say on the show.
I'm going to back you up on that, because every time I've been afraid to like say stuff, because I feel like when I do, for some reason, just because I was on the show for one season, I'm not allowed to say as much as a fan can say. Fuck that and fuck y'all. I'm going to speak on it. I feel you on that, because I think she's one of the main people that I think was very phony, very fake, but she is good television because of that. Like, when you are willing to say or do anything on reality TV, it does make you a star in reality. But I just feel like a lot of times people get positively negatively, we positively reinforce negative behavior with contracts, with money, with bookings, with adoration, because it entertains us. But then people are not really held accountable for really vicious things that they do. And I don't think that's right, you know. And I think people keep getting rewarded for doing fuck shit. And what's the motivation to stop?
And see, you spent time with Phaedra specifically, since we're talking about her. I'm speaking just from a viewer of the show. That was an open-ended situation that we never got closure on. And we then went on to see her have a real-time, real-life fallout with Candy. We went on to see Phaedra after a few years, about 5-6 years she was away. And then we saw her, she came on the Traders, and then she got Dancing with the Stars, and then she got Married to Medicine, or whatever order that went in. And now she's back on Housewives of Atlanta, right? But we've never gotten closure to that situation that she exited the show from. And it's hard for me to connect with her just stepping back in, and we're not getting to the bottom of her saying that, you know what I'm saying? And telling those lies. That's something that should be addressed on that show so that the story can continue appropriately. And I really hope somebody does.
I agree with that. Nothing. Okay, let me take a step back a little before I be accused of being a hater, because I'm not. Okay, redemption. People deserve to have second chances, whatever, I guess.
Absolutely.
But I think, like, to your point, I think it would be great, and it would be positive to see defend that, explain it, put a button on that as well, and then we move forward. But to just ignore something, main reason for your exit, and to not address it and to let you back on, I think that's where it kind of leaves a bad taste in one's mouth.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you guys this, because, you know, one thing that happened on Potomac in this episode too was this sort of like shocking revelation, right? That even me watching it, I was shocked for a couple of reasons, but I want to get you guys' thoughts on it too, because to me, it's sort of like, what's the integrity of reality television, right? Like at this point, sort of like, what is going to happen if you're allowed to get away with this? So one thing that occurred on Potomac was this revelation. So Claudia, I know you're catching up on this. So Stacy is the new housewife, who gives you Kenya Mortiz, just like tall, beautiful. She's from Detroit as well. Not a shade assassin, because Kenya can read the motherfucking phone book.
Very
right?
Smart, Kenya.
And Kenya is actually smart, right? Very smart. Thank you. So long story short, Stacy's a new housewife. Stacy had this best friend on the show that a lot of people question whether or not the relationship was real. They questioned the validity of this relationship. And it was something, Claudia, that was constant. Do you know what I mean? In terms of like, me and Dust would talk about like, there's something off about it. Fast forward to the reunion. This is episode 20, Claudia, 20 episodes in of people having these sort of like speculations. It's then revealed on part 3, TJ, who was FaceTimed by the husbands on the show, Claudia, asking, where you at, bro? Well, I ain't there. Stacy didn't want me there. She owes me money. And then it was sort of like, and listen, I'm gonna say this, and I want you guys to cook. When it was presented to Stacy that TJ alleged that she paid him I'm just being very honest. It was hard for me to believe Stacy for one reason alone, and I'm gonna keep it real. If you lie on me, if I'm a reality star, Claudia and Dustin, I've given my whole life to this show. I'm used to cameras being around me. I'm used to a microphone on my back, and I'm used to y'all telling my real reality, right? With this person, not my cousin, y'all don't know, not this friend I went to middle school with. We're talking about somebody I brought on the show. If this person I brought on the show, and I'm a reality star, lied on me, I am picking up my phone in real time, calling them. When these ladies gave her the opportunity to do that, I was like, Stacy, I love you down, sis. Mia be lying, Stacy be lying. I'm sorry.
I agree. But now I also want to make note of this. All season long, TJ was adamant about abstaining from sex with Stacy and him wanting to not be intimate with her. And he related that to, or correlated that to, his faith. It was a faith-based decision for him, right? He was saying that he was a Christian and his love
Claudia.
of God. Right. But no, follow me, right? But when Eddie and them called him backstage, TJ got on that phone talking like me. That fake ass show and them fake ass motherfucking people and Christian cussing, talking about exposing the fact that according to him, his presence there was paid. You know what I'm saying, by Stacy, which shows like, you know, just deceit and things that are not typically associated with the Christian faith. So I don't know what to believe, because I definitely felt like Stacy was lying on that couch, and she continued to lie allegedly on Watch What Happens Live because she doubled down on it. However, TJ went live today. I saw this, you know, when I was prepping for the show. He went live today saying he had just landed somewhere, and he was playing coy and saying that maybe it's time for me to drop some breaking news. So he's eating up the spotlight like we all knew he would, and playing directly into the mess of all of this. I think they lying together. That's what I think. I think they both lying. I think that TJ is exaggerating something because he was a totally different nigga on that phone than he was during the season. Totally different person. And I think that Stacy was less than honest. I don't know about what, but I think she was less than honest when the shit hit the fan at that reunion, because she wasn't prepared. And Stacy is a person that stepped on that reunion stage prepared for everything that was going to come her way. She was measured. She was prepared. That hit her from the side. She was blindsided by that. So I think they both lying.
Wait, Claudia, before you go, because I'm actually gagging, and I want to hear from Claudia. So Dustin, you think, I just want to be clear. You think TJ is lying about being paid to be on the show by Stacy? That's what you think?
I think TJ, I think he's exaggerated something in some way. If there was some money exchanged, I don't think that they sat down and had an agreement where she said, you be on the show and I'll pay you to be here. I think he's exaggerating something that took place that he can frame as such, because he wants more attention. The season's over. And Stacy's not fucking with him. She's not giving him the access that he once had. So now he's going to get it by exposing things or dropping information or becoming a person who has some sort of some commodity, something of value to the media. That's what he's trying to do. Now, I don't give a damn about their relationship. They could have been butt naked next to me right now, and I'd be looking at y'all. However, people are interested in whether or not it was a real situation. And so they want to know. He's playing a game and feeding just enough to keep people interested in what he has to say. I don't know where he thinks he's going to go with that, but that's what he's doing. And Stacy is not telling the truth about something. I don't know what, but I just like you, Carlos. I sat there on that couch, and it was a noticeable difference between the way she was presenting when Wendy dropped that bomb and prior to that. It was totally different. So I think there was something off in there. Yep.
Claudia Jordan.
What did I just say about the fake religious people? I know people think I'm talking about a certain one or two people on Housewives. I'm talking about the entire industry. I don't trust people that lead with that and then they do reality television. I feel like there's a lot of people that use that to trick. They manipulate us. I think someone put religious or faith manipulation using that to get people to think they're a certain way, but they're really not. Oh, I'm abstaining from sex. Oh, I'm not doing this. What nigga ain't fucking nowadays? Miss me with the bullshit that has access. And also, what person has to be paid to go on one of the hottest reality shows that's out there when people are on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, giving all their tea away for free? Miss me with that BS. I do not believe that. When I hear people say, oh, they paid them to be on the show with them and you're a beautiful girl, do you know how easy it is to get a nigga?
And my thing is, even if she did, so what? Even if she did pay him, so what? That wouldn't make me look at her any differently. In fact, that would make me be like, oh, she's smart because it's not personal. She found somebody who could just get the job done. That wouldn't even make me look at her in a weird way. So I wish she would just say that if that's the truth. Like, I found somebody I'm cool with.
Yeah.
I do agree that there's something that she definitely was caught off guard. She wasn't ready for that. Like that, they did not talk about that. But I also have a hard time believing people once you break up, because there's always the person you get with is not the person you break up with. How many of us have all been in love with someone that we would never in a million years think that they would say this, that, and the third about us, but then you break up and they are a different human being. They line on you, they pay in blogs to post stories about you and make you look bad. Now you're an asshole. Now you're bad in bed. Now you're broke, but they were singing your praises before. So bitterness will change your opinion about someone and how you support. So I want to know when y'all are in it, how y'all think about each other. But at the end, when y'all mad at each other, I'm sorry, it's very easy to lie. Now, I'm not saying she's innocent. I don't really know. She definitely was caught off guard. There was something going on. But like, I don't know. We're going to believe people. And like Stacy made a good point. The entire season, y'all weren't rocking with this dude. Y'all weren't feeling him. But now that he's saying bad stuff about me, now you want to believe everything.
See, I got it. Okay, so
that
listen.
made me feel like she was lying. Don't be presenting me with no alternative scenario to consider. Let me come to that conclusion on my own. You know what I'm saying? You sound like you lying, trying to convince me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like,
Yes, no. I'll say this. And again, Stacy's a great housewife. She's great. I'm gonna tell you what doesn't help her. Okay. I'm being real. This guy is an actor, Claudia Jordan.
Is he?
He was on Sister to Tia and Tamira show. Because Claudia, you know this. Claudia knows this for real. When you are on Housewives, or when you bring a dude on Housewives, the Housewives fans are going to find everything about this person.
Right? Remember that guy I almost had on the show? And I said, please, Carlos, do not, because he's a fraud. Remember that? I
do. We'll talk after. So the thing is this. What doesn't help this, I'm just being real. He's an actor. He's an actor. So I'm going to tell you 3 things that makes TJ believable to the audience and to me, possibly, right? Number 1, he's an actor. He's an actor. And one thing we know about actors, because you two are actors, you two are in SAG, and one thing you both know is people got to pay for your time. People got to pay for your time. And if it's my second point, if I'm not on camera kissing you, touching you, and we're talking about your divorce the whole time I'm there,
okay,
something's off about that. Number 2. And number 3, I'm gonna say this. What was so defining to me is if you believe in your heart of hearts that this person was somebody who you call your best friend, like most paid gigs, the contract is up. So I believe, this is my opinion, I believe allegedly that TJ was not in his contract allegedly paid for reunion services. Damn. I believe TJ fulfilled his duties for the season. And I believe based on Claudia and Dustin, the amount of attention he received, he said yesterday's price and today's price. And I believe that TJ allegedly tried to negotiate a different rate. And Stacy allegedly would have said no. Because my thing is this, Claudia, you were a housewife and you're a reality star. How convenient is it people break up when the season's over with, and by the time the reunion happens, we're no longer together.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right. Damn, they really be paying people though. Maybe she asked them, come on, maybe not paid them
Reality TV ain't what it used to be. Go ahead, Claudia.
and asked him to fake this with me. Maybe there was no money transaction. I don't know. I'm confused. Y'all both everybody
See,
make
okay, that's where the pivot is for me. If they had a relationship, if they knew each other, I'll just say that, right? If she knows TJ, right? And she's like, hey, I'm about to film this show and I would love for you to film with me. Let's just film together, kicking it or whatever, and figuring out our relationship. And of course, I'll pay you for your time type shit. I don't see anything wrong with that personally. And that coming out is not an expose to me. Her saying, hey, I don't know you, stranger, and let's fake a relationship. Here's a fee to pretend to be my boyfriend. That's a totally different situation.
I'm gonna stop you there, and I'm only saying this because they said it. Because Claudia knows this. I have never once told Claudia's business. I don't tell my girl's business. I'm gonna say this only because they said it. Not all. Some husbands on Real Housewives get 10% of their wife's check.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
But I'm gonna tell you why.
Take it, but I don't see anything wrong with that.
I'm gonna tell you what's different. I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
Peter and Cynthia had this conversation publicly. That Peter is her husband.
Yes.
Her husband. Okay. They had a conversation where when you're filming, right, Claudia, especially Housewives, because that's like, that's ooh. You're Dustin, this is the reality. Your time is being taken away. You gotta wait in the parking lot before you get called in.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta get mic'd. So Dustin, it does feel like a job. It really does. And that's the reason why Peter and Cynthia had a conversation, and Cynthia had to pay Peter, her husband, to film. And what a lot of people don't know is a lot of the husbands get paid because they don't get paid because they're not a housewife, because their time is being spent. Their time is being taken away. And I'm going to say this, and I love Stacy. I love Stacy down, and Stacy is a great housewife.
Yeah.
Without TJ, what would Stacy talk about?
I don't know, Carlos. I feel like Stacy brought a lot of new energy to that cast this season, and my favorite moments from her had nothing to do with her relationship with TJ. My favorite moments from her were her interacting with the ladies at that event, at the dog shit event at the end of the season, her laughing at Ashley singing at the GNA event, her confessional scenes, her at the table scene when they went on that cash trip and they were clocking Mia and Jacqueline at that table. I like all of that. I don't give a damn about her and that man because I never believed it.
Dustin, that's friend of T's. That's very much friend of. Now, I agree with you.
We can agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying?
Claudia Jordan started off as a friend of. And when she became a housewife after filming, Claudia, we had to be like, well, she's a housewife, so we need personal story.
Yeah.
And that's why I always believe Claudia deserves a second chance because of those reasons. Everything you're saying is true. Everything Stacy did was amazing. But that's why I said this, and I'll say it again. I'll say it again. That's why when Claudia Nene had that moment in Puerto Rico, Nene said to me and another producer, y'all chose the wrong beat. Claudia deserves a peach. That's what I'm going to say. Because to have that level of confidence and stamina, the fact that the queen of reality television, the queen, who I consider to be the greatest reality star of all time, the fact that she told us, y'all made a mistake. Claudia needs the peach. Let's be clear. So
I appreciate her saying that because I remember y'all telling me at the time. I was like, really? People thought we were really hating each other at the time, and really it wasn't. She was around me after that read in Puerto Rico. She thought I'm gonna stand next to Claudia.
Again, I would like to say everything, but it's true. Nene, that's why it's two things, Dustin. You're right about Stacy. Everything saying is right. But there is this thing where when you are a housewife, it's like, okay, besides the group scenes, girl, what are we getting from you at the crib? And that's why,
Yeah.
to me, I'm just being honest here. It is believable. I'm not saying Stacy's lying. I'm not saying TJ's lying. I don't know. All I'm saying is it's believable. And the reason why I wanted to bring Claudia into this too is because when you start off as a friend of, you're like, what everything you said to Dustin, you're there in the group scene, you give a comment, you give a facial expression, you throw a little shade. But when you are a mother housewife, oh baby,
You got to drive the car.
Who's your mama? Where's your brother? Who's your
Yep.
man? Where's your child? So that's why I can see Stacy feeling the need, and I'm gonna end with this because her real husband, who she is married to, doesn't want her or her child on the show.
Wait,
That's why
what?
we never saw her
Oh,
kid.
shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Claudia, Stacy's married. She's going through a divorce though, and
Oh.
she has a beautiful daughter. None of them on the show.
Oh,
So
that's
when
sad.
that's why it's believable. Because without all of those extra factors, she will be the Marlo Hampton of Potomac, a friend. Before Marlo got a peach. Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of people. Well, a few people in the comments are talking about Stacy's dude, and they're questioning his sexuality. Has that ever been a thing?
Well,
Not
the
for
thing
me.
is,
I
No.
don't
not for
care
me and
about it.
Dustin, because as listen, I'll say this. Listen, as gay black men, it's dangerous to sort of out somebody. Is TJ's decision to say whether or not he is. That's not for us to call out. Claudia, obviously, people are saying that. That's why Eddie in this reunion used the word flamboyant.
Oh, he was throwing shade a little bit at him.
No.
I don't think Eddie was throwing shade. I think Eddie was being careful. And
Gotcha.
was like,
Okay.
because the thing is
Right.
that it's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's not more dangerous to out somebody if they're not ready for it. And it's also dangerous to label anybody something they're not. So I just want to say that. So when it comes to that, that has been a topic of conversation, but that's TJ's story to tell.
Okay.
From my understanding, he has yet to talk about it. So I don't know. But what I'm saying is when it comes to whether or not he is or isn't, that to me is a moot point. The biggest point is whether or not this man was paid to be on the show because Stacy did not have any personal story outside of TJ.
Do you think the boyfriends and husbands on reality TV should get paid? Do you think that will help or hurt?
Well, that's a good question. The reason why I created Love and Marriage is because I always felt that when it came to reality TV, in order for you to understand the woman, you also have to get to know her husband or her boyfriend, right? And I feel like, and this is my experience, the men, they work. Season 6, which will go down in history in the Guinness Book of World Records as the highest rated season of any Bravo show, that was the main season, Claudia. It was a season before you got on, where the men were integral into the storyline. And that's the reason why that season is 10s A+ across the board. You had Apollo, Greg Leakes, rest in peace, Todd. You had
Brandon.
Brandon. You had you had
Christopher Williams.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
Chuck.
Yes.
You had the POV of men, because we don't live in a world where it's just like one point of view, it's multiple. So listen, and I'll move on after this. If TJ got paid, I'm just being real, I don't blame him, only because as a child actor that he was, he's only used to working for compensation.
Right.
And to film a reality show is a lot of work. And I get it. But it also questions the integrity of this genre, because it's one thing to say he's my best friend who I'm interested in, but it's one thing to not really reveal that there's something else going on that we may not know. So it's all confusing.
That's the piece.
That's
right
the
there.
piece that's confusing.
That's the piece.
Yeah. So
And then
Claudia,
because
go ahead.
I think they should be paid. I think it would avoid a lot of this because I get tired of this. Like you hear this on so many shows. Oh, they paid them to be there, or you know, and all this kind of stuff. They should. They are an important part of your storyline. And then I think you'd also get more people willing to get on there because I remember towards the end of my season. Well, at the end, y'all wanted me to come back with someone. And I was talking to someone at the end, and it wasn't worth it for him to risk stuff in his career because he had a very lucrative, successful, and public career, and there was no monetary, you know, payment for him. So
listen,
it causes people to seek fake relationships and to have people come play the role because there's pressure to have someone, right? Or you're the bitter cat lady that can't get a man. I think it'd probably help a lot. In my opinion.
Anybody working need to get paid straight up. So if I'm filming a show and the shit I have to say is a part of what the show is made of, I need to be paid. I don't see any problem with that. Everybody working to contribute to a project needs to be paid. Flat out, full stop.
I agree. I agree. Okay. Our last story of the night is the Grand Dame, who, you know, I love her. And, you know, Eboni K. Williams started this show by discussing Karen being sentenced to 2 years in jail, 1 year suspended, which means she's been sentenced to 1 year in jail with the other year hanging over her head. Shall she do something wrong, right? So there was a theme that played at the end of this reunion that made me feel sad. And I'm going to explain to you guys why. I agree, child. That made me feel sad because there's this thing going on that has been said on Twitter for years about a rehearsed read, right? Yeah. And that is true. A lot of people, you can tell when a read's rehearsed because they step on their words, and
what
it's
you
never
know is he had $5.
It's never delivered. So this, to me, watching Karen and Ray felt like a rehearsed scene because as I was watching it in real time, this is when the producer side of me clicks in, and I wonder if my audience saw this too. So Claudia and Dustin, I'd love to get your thoughts. And I'm like, is this me as a viewer or is this me as a producer? The way you could tell a scene feels rehearsed is if every single point has hit where the two people talking, it's sort of like a tennis match where they give you alley-hoop basketball. They give you a word, you take it, you know what I'm saying? So the conversation between Ray and Karen felt rehearsed to me. And by rehearsed, guys, what I mean is this, that they talked about it. They said, let's drive these points home. The medication, the antidepressants, the beer, and then I got this because of that. No one talks like that in real life. And I felt sad because for me, it was one of those things where I'm like, Ray's the good man, Savannah. I just felt bad because I felt sad. I'm sorry. I felt sad because I'm like, I wonder if there's any sort of accountability that's going to happen because I think that's the way for you to win in the end. And I didn't see that in that scene to me.
Me either. And that scene, first of all, had I been producing that scene, I would have cut the cameras and had a full stop meeting with Karen and Ray right then and been like, we can't turn that in. Y'all aren't being real. If we're going to do this, we need to show the reality of what's going on in your household right now, because that ain't it. Karen looked beautiful. I'll say that. She looked stunning in that white cable knit, sweater dress. Her hair looked good. She looked good, I feel bad for Ray. It don't feel good to watch an 80-some-year-old man who really just want to be sitting down somewhere watching CBS, drinking some coffee. You know what I'm saying? Being old, that's all he want to do. But he has to be out at court, pulling up to wrecks on the side of the road, trying to, he's still having to think like a younger man and think quick on his feet and come up with scenarios and schemes and shit in the moment. That's too much for him at that station in life. Ray didn't work. He's retired. Karen has put him in several situations now because they're married. It was hard to see that. you're right. That was not a natural conversation between the two of them. Karen was trying to save face, and it made her look even worse. And what it showed me was that Karen don't even get it. She still don't get it. At whatever point that scene was filmed at, it had not clicked in Karen's mind that it is time to literally abort mission, be fully accountable, and get this shit over with. She was still trying to be persuasive in that scene and add details to try to sway public opinion when it's impossible to do that. So that was sad to see. I want Karen to go to jail and come home. I'm ready for her to get that shit over with, come out of jail, get on the Zimpy, be at Fashion Week, you know what I'm saying, at front row with her daughter, and have that comeback arc. And when she come out of jail, Karen can go into her bag. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a bad girl, it'd be a bad
Martha
woman.
Stewart did it.
Yeah,
Do you know what
be
I
a
mean?
bad
Like,
woman era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get with that stylist that was working with Fantasia for the for Oscar season, and that's
Daniel
doing Candy
Hawkins.
now. Get with
Daniel
him.
Hawkins.
Get your ass to Fashion Week in Paris, in New York, in Milan. Get on the scene, Karen, and just, you know, try to have a comeback era of sobriety. You know what I'm saying? Looking good and just being present, because we'll be happy to have you back. We'll be happy to see you once you take real accountability for this and just get it the fuck over with. But that lion shit her and Ray did in that video did not help at all.
Great. I think those are all fantastic. I agree with everything you said. I will say this, you know, I do think, okay, how much of that was them with the self-rehearsal, pre-planned stuff, or how much it was a negotiation with producers? I'll do this scene, but, or maybe they had talking points, because you do sometimes get points that you do need to hit when you go into a scene. Let's just keep that. Okay, that is the thing. Now, the producer not telling you what to say, but there's certain things like benchmarks you do have to hit. I don't know if that was, I just wish, I will say this, Karen, you know, I try to like always have a little bit of empathy for people like that have gone through a lot. But at this point, on your 4th DUI, you put a lot of people's lives at risk, and you have gotten a lot of privilege and grace. You really have. And you could have killed people, even 1 minute of driving drunk like that. The way she was sloppy drunk.
She
Sloppy
was. It's
drunk.
not funny, but she was.
She was. No, listen. Am I perfect? Have I ever taken a chance on a ride home where I'm like, not sure? Yes. And I'll never do it again. I will not do it again. I've seen horrific car wrecks. We lost, in our friend circle, we lost someone recently that tried it. I'll never do it.
I'm sorry, Claudia, to hear that.
It wasn't someone I was close with, but in my friend circle, like a friend of a friend. And I just saw a young life that did not have to take that risk. And Karen, you're on your 4th one. You were given so many passes. If I was granted so many passes, I'd feel like, all right, let me not tempt fate. But I think what it does the opposite. It makes you feel invincible. And having no accountability does create a monster. That's kind of what we've been talking about. It does create monsters. That scene definitely did feel fake. And I think a lot of people that are on television, it's hard for them to really let go. You're on reality, but are you really letting go? And Carlos, you know, with certain people, it's been like pulling teeth, right? To get them to just forget the cameras there, really be real, and not try to self-produce. Self-producing has made some reality shows whack. Like, get there, talk reckless, be ugly, don't have your perfect makeup, don't have the 3 sets of lashes, ugly cry. I fucked up. I fucked up. I'm taking Adderall. I'm taking this. I'm taking that. For whatever your reasons are, not saying you did, whatever your drug of choice is, and just leave it on the table. Have you not seen all the examples of other people who have fucked up? So people welcome Mike Tyson back in after raping a black girl. More than one. You know what I mean? Like, there is redemption. People still cap for R. Kelly. There are people who still like Diddy. So I'm saying the public can be forgiving. It's all in the way you handle it. If you come to us like ugly cry and keep it a buck and don't try to give us some fake ass scene, people are going to be quicker to get to that point of forgiving you and saying, all right, man, lay off her. Let's forgive, because black people are very forgiving people, and give her another chance. But you make it a little harder when you kind of think we're stupid, and you know. And I do feel bad for the hubby. He looks so damn stressed out.
Yeah, he just want to sit down.
Tired.
All them scenes when he was filming in the backyard on that patio furniture on them Chase lounges and shit, he was happier. When you saw him relaxing and resting, you know what I'm saying? He was a happier man. So I you know, Ray just want to take it easy. He's in that stage of life. And Karen is
that blood pressure so damn high, and he cannot afford it. Like the eyes look tired. His eyes look tired, and he should be. That's a lot of drama for a young person. Imagine it's hard for a young person in those scenarios. Imagine.
Yeah. Imagine poor Ray. You know what I'm saying? And Karen was drunk. Can you imagine Karen Huger coming home drunk and you 80-something years old? Can you imagine what that's like? That's got to be a lot to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Ray, that house was quiet. You know, she was pulling up at 12:30, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning after the bar closed. Ray was good in sleep. Okay.
And when women are drunk, they want sex. She probably was like, hey, give it to
I
me.
can't.
Give it to me, Ray. Give me the dirty Ray.
Yeah. He got to roll over and put his glasses on and shit and get up. You know what I'm saying? It's just an interruption overall. So
thank you, Caleb.
Well, no. So I'll say this much. This was a great reunion. I love seeing the ladies have fun. I thought this was Giselle's best reunion. She was on fire. She looked great. She was amazing. Dr. Wendy was fantastic this reunion.
She ran that stage. All 3 parts, Wendy ran it.
Claudia, I'm gonna introduce you to Wendy because y'all
I want to meet her. I have so much respect for her. I love how she used her platform to speak out politically. You know, I'm a political nerd. I love that about her. So Wendy, chef's kiss to you. I love a smart girl.
Yeah,
educated, beautiful, got the family, has all the elements in place.
Yeah, no, so I want to give a shout out to I think like All-Star games, we get the MVP. I think Giselle and Dr. Wendy deserve the MVP award this reunion. They were spectacular. The moment the show started, all the way back from part 1. So shout out to them. Dustin and Claudia, this has been amazing and fun. Claudia, I miss you so much.
We need to hang out more. Maybe I can.
Where are you?
I'm in Dallas. I'm back home. I'll be here until I'm on tour with the Play Games Women Play. It's a Jacarius Johnson play. So we're going to be in Houston the 13th through the 14th through the 16th. So we have a bunch of cities we're doing. It's a great
people miss you on YouTube.
I know. Listen, I loved Cocktail the Queens. I love doing TGIF. Every single place I go, people still ask me, like, they're like, you know, in these political times, like, we need a place where we can like have fun and get informed and, you know, accidentally informed. We're trying to build that up. The numbers aren't, you know, we're building that right now, but I miss it too. I want to do more of this. I do love talking with the folks and, you know, having a good
Okay. Claudia, The Real Housewives of Atlanta is premiering March 9th. Am I okay to invite you back to recap one episode with me and Dustin?
Of course.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna start watching more. I know people like she don't even watch. I need to get back on Potomac. Watching today, I was like, I'm gonna go back and really get into it. But I honestly, I have been so stuck in politics with this election. You know, I'm very hands-on. So that's all I've been consuming for like 2 years. You know.
Okay.
I'll come back anytime.
Okay, no, we all miss you, and Dustin, I love you. So Claudia and Dustin, Claudia, ladies first. Let the world know where they can find you, follow you, and support you, beauty.
At Claudia Jordan on Instagram. I'm always on there. I'm always getting shadow banned for my anti-Trump views. Whatever. You can't silence me. And the Stage Play Games Women Play. And also every Wednesday with Erica Cobb. Accidentally Informed on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. And a bunch of movies coming out. So yeah, holla at me. I miss all you people, all y'all supporters. I love y'all. Thank you so much for the love.
Yes. So shout out to everybody who supported my show. As you know, I was so blessed. I sold out City Winery, New York, for my very first stand-up comedy show. Yes, on March 17th. And the God is good. They offered me a second show because there were so many people on the wait list. It was just, I'm overwhelmed with the tremendous support I got. So there's a second show available. You can find the link to the show in my bio. It's on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, here in New York City at City Winery. So I'm really excited. My very first stand-up show. It's on St. Patrick's Day, and the show is called FSPD, which stands for Fuck St. Patrick's Day. And I can't wait to tell you why I felt like that. So if you want to come on down March 17th. The ticket link is in my bio at Look at Dustin, all the way across all platforms.
So that's the 2 shows the same night, or you have
same night, 2 shows. So first show, same night. Yep, Carlos. You know, if I'm gonna do it, we're gonna do it. So first show. Doors at 6 p.m. Showtime is 7:30 p.m. The second show, and then the meet and greet is immediately after that. Second show, doors at 9:30, showtime 10 p.m. And there is a VIP meet and greet option available for that as well. So come fuck with me. I'm gonna make y'all laugh on March 17th at City Winery here in New York City. Thank you to everybody that purchased tickets, and I'll see y'all then.
Dustin, you're so talented and so smart, and you're smart, talented, and sexy, and everybody wants to have sex with you. So,
Thank you. I love having sex. So you just made me feel so good. That's how you affirm your friends right there. You know, sex is important to me. So thank you, Claudia.
You know, I got your back. I got your back.
And somebody
These
gonna have
two
my
Aries.
front. That's right.
Yeah, y'all better go see
Dustin.
Dustin. He is the bomb at everything he does. He's
Thank
never
you, friend.
he's the bomb at everything he does. So I don't know
Thank
about
you,
sexually
friend.
because I never had sex with him, but he
Yeah.
is. You know, he obviously, you know, I'm sure he's good at that as well. So support him.
Thank you, friend. I love you. I hope you can make it too. We talked earlier, but we'll see. Yes.
My last show was a 6. If I can get from Houston to New York, you know I love a New York.
Yep. It's all good. But yeah, thank you.
Oh, we didn't need. Oh, okay. Let's offline.
Yes.
Look, my raindrops and my color tells us everything. All three of us in New York, and we're gonna bring Lauren LaRosa too. Like we're gonna
love
I
it.
love her. Love a smart
her.
girl.
Yeah.
No, Claudia, she was on last week, and we fell in love. So okay, so Claudia, Dustin, thank y'all so much. I'll see you next week, Dustin. Claudia, I'll call you afterwards. Love you.
Bye, y'all.
Okay, that was a fantastic show. Raindrops, y'all had a good one. I love Claudia. I miss her so much. Okay, anyways, all right. So Raindrops, really quickly, I'm dropping a one-on-one exclusive interview tomorrow. I am dropping a one-on-one exclusive interview tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Thank you, Shantae Elba. You, baby, that picture is, Shantae, you are a bad girl. You look, baby. Shantae, you are gorgeous. You need to, you need to be on TV. You cute too, she dope. Not my raindrops being fine. I know that's my honey. My raindrops also. But Lisa, let me find out the raindrops are baddies. Because let me tell y'all something. My meet and greets, when I meet the raindrops at my meet and greets, I'll be like, my raindrops are bad. One thing about the raindrops, they look good. Anyways, so look. My raindrops not only support your boy, they make sure they look good in the process. I love my raindrops. Y'all look good. Okay, I met one this weekend. This beautiful black girl. She was with a white man, and she had like a 7-carat ring. And when I say mama was chocolate with blonde hair, and she was giving all of this, and I said, my raindrops are fine. Hey, E. Hartman. Okay, dress. Is that She by Sheree? Come on, sis. Okay, tomorrow, 9 o'clock. I'm crazy. Tuesday, March 4th, I'm dropping a one-on-one interview. And it's a good one. It's good. I mean, they're all good, but this one good. Thank you, LaToya Bell. You know, as the king of the raindrops, I have to look good for y'all to look good. So thank you for that. All right, raindrops. Thank you guys for another hot show. I love y'all immensely. Okay, and I will see y'all tomorrow for the interview, and then I'll see y'all next Monday. Monday Night Live. You never know who I'm going to bring. 7 p.m. Eastern. Love you guys. Bye-bye.